the one that stands at the pinnacle of all races against the warrior and leader of the Long March, Escanor versus Godfrey. These champions stand as a bar that defines and sets apart the high tiers of the verse from the fodders and is the one to beat to reach that level. The sin of pride will be taken in the one ultimate against Godfrey in his prime as the Elden Lord. These characters are too similar to pass up this matchup, and I personally believe it's much closer than many would think. With both characters at their peaks, I'll go over their individual scaling and explain my conclusion for the victor. Starting with Godfrey, it's described in the Ash of War given from Godfrey's remembrance that Godfrey can literally shake the earth with his sheer strength, which can be calculated as small country levels. Although I think this should be even higher, given Godric is capable of performing an earth-shaking feat as well, and Godfrey is literally incomparably stronger than that fodder. So I think it's entirely warranted that this feat should be at least magnitude 5 compared to the magnitude 4 calculation from before, granting Godfrey country level strength for this feat. But setting that stuff aside, now we'll go to the real meat of the scaling, what people actually want to see. Godfrey would scale above a prime Renala who is capable of creating an entire universe. This is consistent with the Elden Beast also being able to create an entire universe, in which Godfrey in his prime has the full power of the Elden Ring, and in turn, possesses the power of the Elden Beast. Due to embodying the concept of order, the Elden Beast should also be made up of the order of the actual universe in Elden Ring, meaning that the Elden Beast would be 4D and Godfrey would be in turn. This should be backed up as Placidus Axe created the Chasm of Time, which would be literally the void between timelines, implying a higher dimensional cosmology, so the Elden Beast being 4D really isn't a stretch. In speed, there's really 3 main metas: Massively Hypersonic Plus, somewhere around Light Speed, and Inaccessible Speed. Massively Hypersonic Plus comes from Forest Axe and Lance Axe, being able to casually catch lightning without even looking at it, which if you didn't know, lightning travels at Mach 352, and would therefore be Massively Hypersonic Plus. The light speed meta comes from multiple attacks in the verse being stated to be literal beams of light, specifically the Miranda flowers being a good example of this, as they're just calling down beams of light from the sky, which Torrent and the Tarnished are faster than, and Godfrey should just be significantly faster than them anyways due to his narrative. Inaccessible speed comes into play with the Tarnished fighting Placidus Axe in the Storm Beyond Time, or the Chasm of Time. It lacks the flow of time no matter if you use the localized translation or the actual one. But to keep this as fair as possible, I won't be using this meta given the controversy around that tier of speed, and the main reason and real reason of not wanting this conclusion to just be Godfrey speed blitzing and eviscerating Escanor's cheeks. Godfrey doesn't really have any abilities to go over, he kind of just big bonks, but he has really good endurance seeing as he embodies the struggle of the Tarnished warriors. Going into Escanor, you may remember the fat L he took last video, and I swear I'm not hating on Escanor, he's still really good, but I can't promise the best results for him in this video either. Escanor has multiple lines of scaling, such as an island level to large country range, with upscaling Demon Mark II awakened Meliodas in this form, who performed the feat of vaporizing Danafor, which is calced at Island Plus. He also upscales Gothar, whose self-detonation scales to large country busting, Gothar's detonation also only being this strong due to Escanor's own magical powers being infused in it. But as I said before, the low ends probably aren't what you want to see here. Escanor in the One is stated to be completely relative to the full power Demon King in Zeltra's body, who is actually amped here due to the magic lake that he was abusing during the fight with Meliodas and Elizabeth. The Demon King created the Demon Realm, which is multiple parallels to Purgatory, such as the constant miasma and harsh conditions, the relation to the Demon King, and similar presentation as separate realms from the human world, so I think it's fine to apply the same structure of Purgatory to the Demon World, meaning the Demon World is its own infinite spacetime, which for those stuck on thinking the Demon World is just the size of a planet, we literally see stars in the sky of it during 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, adding some consistency to my argument. Escanor in the One Ultimate is just straight up above him, but even in the One he scaled this due to being again relative to the amped Demon King. As far as speed goes, 7 Deadly Sins is relatively underwhelming. The most consistent meta for the verse, and the only one that can really apply to Escanor, is Massively Hypersonic, with characters like Base Meliodas being able to react to and counter lightning bolts, even pre-Chapter 100. Escanor obviously scaling way above that version of Meliodas. As far as Escanor's abilities go, he has a passive field of heat around him that can melt Holy Knight's armor, and his Power of Sunshine also lets him condense his heat-earned energy into his attack Cruel Sun, which functions similarly to a miniature star. Using his Sacred Treasure Rita, he can also store his energy and build it up to unleash larger amounts. He has some absolutely insane endurance as well, seeing as on his deathbed he's shown multiple times to be able to just keep fighting through it, even while borderline passing out or straight up dying in the moment. My verdict for this matchup is really that while Escanor can keep up and maybe even match Godfrey blow for blow and in the hacks department, he simply can't keep up speed-wise, and while he does have some insane endurance, his stamina in the 1 ultimate and even in just the 1 is just complete dog shit and hurts him just as much. So overall, I think while they're comparable in physical stats, Godfrey is too fast and can outlast Escanor in this state, and is likely also a lot more skilled of a combatant. Just my 2 cents on the topic. Hope you all enjoy. And I saw a video recently that got me genuinely tweaking on the placements. So prepare for a sequel to the Remembrance video going over the DLC bosses and how they compare to the original list. See y'all. Have a great rest of your day.